Hello everyone, this is Michael James Hecker and welcome to Chairman of the Board. This is a friendly reminder, folks, that your pedal board is never too big. This is part 2 of my MIDI demo for the Keeley Nocturne. If you are unsure how to set your Nocturne up for MIDI functionality, you might want to go back and watch part 1 of this demo. Part 2 primarily focuses on MIDI programming. Our MIDI controller today is the Gigrig G3S, and we will be exploring PC and CC messages. I am going to have on preset 3 through 7 the presets for the Keeley Nocturne, and on preset 2 it will shut off the Nocturne and access another pedal via MIDI. I'm selecting preset 7, going into the deep dive menu, selecting MIDI, and MIDI out, then the first MIDI message. We're going to make sure that it is on so that it can send MIDI. Then we're going to select channel 3 or whichever channel you have the Nocturne on, and PC+. PC+ will add a message to your preset. The number is the preset you would like to recall, in this case PC0. Now we're going to move down to MIDI message 2. We're going to go to on, channel 3 again, but we're going to select a CC plus message. CC stands for continuous controller. What that does is controls a parameter on the pedal. The plus just means that you will send that MIDI message when you press the preset on G3. In this demonstration, the CC messages will be controlling whether the Nocturne is on or off. We go over to 102. That number controls the Nocturne's bypass switch. The value, 127, means the pedal will be on. If you switch it to 0, it will be off. We're doing 127, which is on. Now we can back out of this and it will save automatically. But I am going to send a third MIDI message, and this is going to look very similar to the other one, except for I'm going to do a CC minus message. What that means is once I leave the preset, it will send a message to the Nocturne. Now that message in this case is going to be also the on-off state of the Nocturne, but this time we're going to make it turn off. So as soon as we leave preset 7, the Nocturne will turn off. But if I choose another Nocturne preset with the CC plus message, it will turn it back on. This is just a clever way of making sure the Nocturne is not on in the event that you don't want it on. I'm not going to go in depth with the other presets. However, I am going to give you a quick walkthrough of what they look like. We're going to go to 6, and this one is going to look identical to 7, except for we're going to choose PC number 1, and that is the spring reverb. Now we're going to go over to 5, and everything's the same, except for we're going to choose the spring reverb on bank 1, which is PC4. So now we're going to hop over to preset 4, and this one is going to be a bit different. So everything is the same except for that's going to be PC2, which is the plate reverb on bank 0. As you can see, the 3 MIDI messages are saved to this preset. You can add up to 20 on each preset on G3. We are now going to put the Nocturne into wet-dry mode, so we're going to go to MIDI message 4. And what wet-dry mode does is it makes one amplifier only reverb and another amplifier only dry guitar signal if you are running stereo. The protocol is the same, but we are going to go to the number at CC Plus as 109. 109 controls the wet-dry option on the Nocturne. 0 is off and 127 is on. So what we're going to do is set this to 127, but make another message that does the CC minus. Reason being, you probably don't want wet dry on every preset. So we're going to go down, same protocol, on 3, CC minus, 109, and then 0. Now when we leave this preset, it will shut the wet dry off and set it back to standard operation. You will notice the Nocturne's large LED flashing when you change these modes. We will now go to preset 3, and preset 3 is identical to 4 but without the wet dry option. So what I have set up here is the ability to toggle between 4 and 3, wet dry and standard, and 2 turns the Nocturne off and sends MIDI messages to another MIDI pedal. Now let's watch the G3 talk to the Nocturne. On 7, we have PC 0. On 6, we have PC 1. On 5, we have PC 4. On 4, we have PC 2 with wet dry. On 3, we have PC 2 without wet dry. And 2 turns the pedal off. Once again, thank you to Andy Timmons, Robert Keeley, and the fine folks over at Keeley Electronics for allowing me to make this demo. Head over to RKFX to pick yours up today. Once again, folks, thanks for watching Chairman of the Board. If you like this video, please subscribe. Until next time.